Hello, critizens of the intertubes. Well, this was a little bit unexpected. So at the PlayStation State of Play, September now, isn't it? September 2022, we got an Electric Wind God Fist out of nowhere by Namco Bandai, and got a Tekken 8 official trailer. And so I guess that settles that then. It is Tekken 8, and I honestly thought we would be waiting a little bit longer, but that said, this is clearly well, there's some interesting things to say about this, so I thought what I might do is play the trailer in its full, and then I might rewind it back, slow it down, and do a bit of an analysis, because I've got a lot to say, and I think there's some interesting things to point out. So I'll shut the fuck up for the moment, and let's get into it.
Fight!
So now I'll just slow this shit down, and we'll do a bit of a deep dive analysis into what's going on here. So first we're greeted to what looks to be a G-Corp soldier's shattered helmet, and I imagine the events of Tekken 8 pick up immediately or very shortly after the conclusion of Tekken 7. Some people thought there might be a time jump. I think we might be seeing more of a reboot next game. It might be time. I could be wrong, but I think people want a big change, and I don't think Tekken 8 is going to be that. I think it's going to be a high budget version of Tekken 7, which they were not able to do with Tekken 7, because I don't know if you've heard the history about this. The producers basically had to go to Namco and beg them to give another shot due to Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 not doing very well. I think it sold about 300,000 copies across the platforms, and just remember this was it wasn't on PC, but it was on most of the consoles of last generation. So anyway, we see this shattered helmet of the G-Corp soldier, and the stage looks like it's the Precipice of Fate, which is where famously Kazuya was thrown off the cliff by his father. And this appears to be some sort of cataclysmic activity, tornadoes, and so it looks like this is probably at the climax of the war. Basically, World War III is the content of Tekken at this point, and with Jin and Kazuya being the leaders of the two factions. Well, I guess no. I assume now that Kazuya is the leader of the Zaibatsu now as well. So Am I getting that right? I mean, I mentioned the storyline stuff because this is obviously a storyline trailer. It's not really a gameplay trailer. Looks like there's gameplay, real gameplay intertwined with some more cinematic shots. And there's some post-apocalyptic shit going on. Shit's got real, folks, and World War III, I guess, is in full swing, and perhaps this is the climactic battle between father and son. So yeah, Precipice of Fate is obviously the stage by the looks of things, and which is famously where Heihachi first threw Kazuya off the cliff when he was a child. And here we've got the classic Namco animation for their intro. Not sure how I feel about these special effects, but I love that little explosion, like boom, breaking the speed of sound sort of thing. Needs like a big whoop. Now, they look a little bit funny, like the camera's a little bit too far away compared to how Tekken currently is, and the heads look a bit strange, but we get the 1-2-4 from Jin and a return axe kick from Kazuya and some slow-mo, so that's the up forward 3 crush for that low sweep. So I wonder if that's actually going to be in the game. Another camera change for the Hell Lancer kick, which is blocked. So I think a lot of this is just cinematic, but I have to say that's beautifully animated. Back 2-1. So they're using their moves and the hook fist. Whoa, and there we go. There's that. Looks like there's some sort of new dash mechanic. Down forward 3, 2, 1. And what do we got there? Some Kazuya been eating spinach today. Buffing up. Obviously, I think a lot of this might be a story mode scene, maybe. Now, interesting that it looks like they've changed the air physics. So hopefully that is actually an indication that the combo system's getting changed up a little bit. I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. But in terms of, I know a lot of the casual fans don't like the big juggles. Personally, I do. I love them, but I don't want it to change too much. But it looks like I've got what I wanted just by looking at this footage. Because the air physics look a little bit more realistic, which I've been pretty critical about with Tekken the last, it's looking very dated how their physics engine works. Kazuya's not happy. Now this looks like a new move by Kazuya. That's a classic uppercut by Jin, maybe reanimated somewhat. And then we get... It's abolishing fist, but maybe it is just abolishing fist. And see, this here is clearly in-game combo. This is a staple combo from Kazuya. And the hell sweep looks like it's been completely reanimated. Corkscrew into hell sweep, slaughter hook fist. So it looks like Corkscrew's still in the game, which I like. I think Corkscrew is a good addition to the combo game. It makes sense, especially if they animate the air movement a little bit more realistically. Kazuya's like, "Come on, get up, boy." Unreal Engine 5 definitely is an amazing looking engine. DirectX 12. Is that the cliff in the background where he was thrown off? Looks like it. A lot of lightning. The god of thunder in full fury. And here comes a big running electric wind hook fist. Of some description anyway. Interesting that the one wing appears. Which makes me wonder about the where they're going with the storyline. Hopefully it's not as predictable as I think it may be. Those particle effects are really interesting. Is that like a rage drive or something? Rage art? I assume they're going to keep the rage arts. I'm personally a bigger fan of the rage drive system, which is really good. Really like what they've done. I hope they expand upon that for Tekken 8 rather than just throwing it in the bin. Rage arts I could take or leave. Cool. Tekken 8 was always a bit of a weird number, I feel. But I like what they've done with the chain motif, which is probably a direct burn on the Street Fighter 6. You remember that original logo that they first announced, and the whole internet really got up their ass about it. So that was a little bit out of left center field. I was not expecting it to be today. At least I'd actually forgotten. I thought maybe we wouldn't see. I'm actually surprised we didn't see this trailer at Evo, actually. But I guess they want to make it more of a big deal that more of the casual PlayStation fans will make sure it grabs their attention as well. So, what are my thoughts then? I think it looks incredible. It might be the most beautifully animated video game I've ever seen in my life. Especially when it moved to more of a gameplay perspective and you could see them move. It just looked really smooth and very amazingly well done and motion captured. One thing I noticed is when you get a launcher, I saw Jin do a dash, so I wonder if there's almost like a double dash animation now when you dash forward instead of the choppy sort of animations we have now. There's a hint to the gameplay footage with the backdash Kazuya does to get away. It's like an animated Korean. I wonder if they're just animating the Korean backdash, which would actually be a really good thing. I don't want them to remove it. It's a thing I always say to people, don't even worry about it anyway. Like, by the time you get to that level where it's going to be required to be used, you would have learnt it because you're dedicated to the game, right? The physics engine looks great, like how they now, when they launched into the sky, they kind of, as realistically as a guy could be uppercutted into the sky and then fly away. It seemed like there's a bit of flailing in the air. It didn't look like in Tekken 7 now and all previous Tekken games that sort of had that floaty animation when you go into the sky. It just doesn't work very well. I know people don't like the 2D jumps, but I'd like to see the characters get a modified jump. If they're going to have jumps at all in the game, like just tone it down from what Akuma and Geese has. Maybe just have more of a realistic looking sort of jump where you can go into sort of maybe rolling Sobat kicks and things of that nature. I'm not big on that song. I think the Tekken 7 sort of reveal songs were a bit better, but who cares? It's always a mixed bag of Tekken. I tend to like the music though. For Tekken. I notice one thing, the sound effects on the block seems like it's still the same one. I'd like them to change that to be a bit more of a fleshy, realistic sound, maybe more of a punchy sound. The hit impacts are always good. Special effects look kind of interesting. It looks like they might be work in progress. And other than that, I think it looks great and I'm really happy. Excited to see more. Well, that's enough from me right now. So what do you guys think? Anyone bothers to watch my ramblings? I'm really happy. I'm pretty excited. Want to see more. One thing that was missing, now that I come to think of it, is I would like to see a bit more innovation on the stages. It looked like it was a pretty flat. We didn't see any walls. We didn't see any stage elements. I'd like them to return to Tekken 4, bring in some more stage elements. Not the uneven ground, because that just breaks everything. But like in the airport, you had the the telephone boxes that you could smash people into, or the parking lot where they had those big pillars. I think they could add things like that and make things a bit more dynamic. But other than that, it's pretty much everything I could hope for at this point. really happy. So sound off, guys, if you watch this video, what you think. If you think it sucks, think I suck, think things are great, leave a comment. Always appreciate it. And signing out, weeaboos.